Good morning, Steve Zellner here with Remax Treviso North Realty. Just a real quick update on the current market. Current inventory, 30,552 units. Again, down about 1,000 since last week, so that's amazing. Remember the summer months, you're going to see a little bit of a decline, and then we get into September. As soon as the kids get back to school, a week or two later, you're going to see a big dump of inventory on the market. Sales have dropped from 900 to 600, just around there. So it's a 33% drop in sales in the last 7 days. So even though we've dropped inventory, we've also dropped sales as well, because we were having a good stretch, like the last 3 to 4 weeks, 900 sales per week, which is nice. And we were always, talking with Mike and the team, let's get our listings in that 900 chain. And we did. We had a great July as well. Like the rest, we had a pretty decent year, to be honest. But in July, obviously, there's a lot of momentum. We'll read an article regarding that just shortly. One thing we've overlooked, and we just figured this out on Friday, which is hilarious, right? You always got to look at stuff and keep fixing things as you're going, because you're never perfect at anything you do. But when we're calculating the GTA inventory, in my mind, I thought Simcoe was included in that. But if you kind of hit this tab, it says GTA, Durham, Halton, Peel, Toronto, and York, and Simcoe should be in there. So it's not, and we have not been including Simcoe inventory. And every time we produce these numbers every week, which is on my side, it's a little bit of we overlooked it, and it's a mistake, to be honest, because ultimately Simcoe is part of the GTA now, because a lot of the movement from the 907, like the 416, 905, and the 705. I mean, there's a lot of people moving from, let's say, York region into like the Simcoe region. If it's Innisfil, if it's Barrie, Allison, Angus, Tottenham, there's a lot of that movement going over past Highway 9. So again, overlooked on our end, but if we actually look at that inventory, which we're not going to put it together on a weekly basis because it's going to upset everything we've been doing the last 10 years, we're going to just basically do this separately. But there's an additional 11,317 units available in Simcoe currently right now, which would bring our inventory, if you think about it, to about 42,000 units rather than the 30,500 where we're currently at now. And then if you looked at Barrie sale, 228 sales in the last 7 days, worth 11,000 units. It is like molasses there. If in the 705 we have listings there, it's like molasses in the early phases of molasses, when the viscosity is literally like cement, or dried cement rather. But anyway, that's currently what that is right now. But just kind of give you an update on that. Read a few articles. So this was interesting. So Toronto has the greatest July in the last 4 years. So again, if you look at it, July is usually a sort of slow month, and the whole thing. There's nothing that we can predict anymore based on the way the market is. It's like up and down. We had a big slow period in like the fall market or in the spring market. Then there's this pickup now in July. Again, we've been sort of consistent going forward. We had a decent July. Clearly, we had a lot of listings of ours sold and buyers that are coming back into the market, which is fantastic. So it's just timing there. Just remember, this is literally, obviously it's a pent-up demand or buyers on the fence waiting until something happens. It's even reading this article, it's normal now. The market is what it is. All the negative talks going on with all the negative things that are happening currently in the country, and people got sort of like a callus to that, and they're making moves, which is good for obviously the real estate trend. If you look at this as well, like since last year, 5.5% decrease in value, which is it's not the greatest thing, but on a million, 5% is 50K, right? So just think about that. And this is why we're trying to talk with clients right now. And this is going to look a lot further. We predict 15 to 20% when we started this prediction when the new administration took over. So let's see how accurate we are. Hopefully we're wrong. I'd rather be wrong and right on these circumstances, obviously. Another thing as well, I get the questions a lot. Steve, why are you saying the market's not going to come back? It's Canada. Canada always comes back, especially Toronto. It's the financial capital of Canada. We're going to be good. Don't worry about it. This is what you got to look at. It's a job loss. If you don't got employment, you don't got no money turning in the economy. No money turning in the economy, you don't have an economy. So this is it. Just canary in the mine shafts business here. So you lost 40,000 jobs in July. Again, if you look at the jobs that were lost as well, let's see, I kind of wrote it down. The hardest hit sectors were last month included the culture and recreation industry, which is basically media, broadcasting, publishing, newspapers, telecommunications, digital media. This is a lot of AI taking these jobs, to be honest. Also, legacy media is on a flat. Nobody watches it anymore, and I'm sure they're cutting a lot of fat out of that as well, because it's not needed as they used to be, right? 22,000 jobs, 22,000 jobs, and business and building services shed. Let's see, sorry. Oh, construction lost 22,000 jobs. Business building and supportive service shed 19,000 jobs. So, I mean, just 40,000 jobs were between construction and, or even 50,000 jobs between construction and building and support services and businesses. So that's like the big mecca of where the employment is and where people are making, six figures, large income jobs that are good for the economy to kind of turn the economy around. Again, this is why we're predicting the continuation of this decrease in value, just based on job loss and affordability and everything that goes associated with that, because people won't be spending money in the economy. There'll be a big retraction going forward. Government's going to have to stimulate the market, make cheap money available, and it's this whole thing. And just remember, when there's high inflation, because that'll cause high inflation, it's basically it's a digital heist, because of your money. Like I mentioned this back when COVID just hit in 2020, just start buying hard assets. Don't leave the cash in your bank, because if you got $100,000 in your bank and you got high inflation, that $100,000 buys $85,000 worth of goods. So it's basically a digital cash heist where your money can't, even though it looks the same figure, it's not worth as much money anymore. It's almost like back in the Roman Empire days. I think it was Nero to create more currency, because that back then it was all based on coinage. What he did is he basically added silver into the gold, just to I think it was 10 or 15%, so he'd extend more of the gold or the silver, whatever he was doing, or copper into silver and silver into gold, just to kind of extend more of the dollar, look more dollars than what they currently had in their coinage and their obviously metal form. So that's currently what's happening now. So just be prepared for that. Always have it in hard assets. To be honest, we've just opened up an account with Charles Schwab in the States, and that's just going to basically buy the S&P in the United States, so the top 500 performing companies or the top 500 companies in America. And if you look at how much money is being invested into America right now, there's trillions of dollars going forward, and it's very, very robust right now, where the government's supporting all these businesses going forward, all this new influx of capital coming in from foreign countries. So you put money into there, you just kind of sit it tight. This is obviously a retirement program for us. It's start to fund off at $12K, and then you just fund it $1,000 a month, and within 20 years it should be close to $1 million, which is perfect in retirement. And then not the $1 million in capital, but it'll give you $100,000 in passive income. It'll give you 10% return yearly. So $1 million in this account will give you $100,000 of passive income. So you never have to touch your capital. You give you $100K a year to kind of survive off that, if that's the only retirement plan you have. Clearly, we're self-employed, so we don't have a retirement plan, so we got to start thinking about this stuff. So that's pretty much it, guys. Have an amazing day. We'll talk soon. Bye.